Joining us on the 10 o'clock news tonight, we've got Akash. He's the brother of Natasha. We also have with us Andre. He's Devangana's husband. And very delighted to have Professor Kalpana also with us. She's Devangana's mother. I want to first go across to Akash. Akash, condolences for the loss of your father. I can't begin to fathom how this time must have been for you, how it must have been for Natasha to not be able to see your father at this critical stage and then be behind Mars. How do you describe this moment? How do you describe this feeling of what this 1 year has meant for the family?
पहले तो मैं ये बोलना चाहूँगा कि अगर आप इसको इंडिविजुअल लेवल पे देखो, सिर्फ मेरे फादर की पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, तो उनके लिए बहुत इनजस्टिस हुई। तालिया को आज जेल अगर, नताशा को आज जेल अगर मिल जाती है, तब भी जो वो नहीं मिल पाए, है ना, उनके लिए वो 1 साल नहीं था, उनके लिए पूरी जिंदगी थी उनकी। मुझे अभी भी इसी चीज़ का गम है कि अपना एक फादर अपने बेटी से नहीं मिल पाए। और मतलब एक ईयर, ये साल कैसा था, ये बहुत नाइटमेरिश था। ऐसा था कि बस ये कब ठीक होगी चीज़ें, कब नॉर्मल होगी चीज़ें, पर एक बहुत ही बड़ा छेद रह गया दिल में। ठीक हो जाएंगे, तालिया नताशा बाहर आ जाएगी, सब हो जाएगा, धीरे धीरे करके ठीक हो जाएगा, पर एक बड़ा छेद वो रह जाएगा। यही है,
छेद रह जाएगा. There'll always be that hollow in the heart of the entire family. He was the only surviving parent, I'm told as well. But before I go to Andre as well, Akash, you spoke in the report to NDTV earlier that you were earlier allowed video calls. They also stopped towards the end. Did Natasha manage to speak to her father towards the end? I mean, as a daughter, I can understand how troubling a time would be like this, to be behind bars for a crime you felt you did not commit, and then to lose your parent, then to finally come out after so much revolt happened really, and to today get a judgment like this, when the court has in no other words said that this is not a criminal act.
नताशा तो बात एक्चुअली नहीं कर पाई थी बेल मिलने से पहले। वीडियो कॉल स्टार्ट हो गए थे, नताशा ने पिटीशन डाला था एक कि वीडियो कॉल स्टार्ट करो, और वो हो भी गए थे। तो 2 मई को हमने कंफर्म, नहीं 3 मई को ही स्टार्ट हुए थे, जिस दिन हॉस्पिटलाइज कराया था, और कंफर्मेशन के लिए हम ईमेल लिखते हैं और वो वहाँ से फिर कंफर्म करते हैं जेल से कि ये सही आदमी बात कर रहे हैं और सही किससे बात करनी है। उसमें 1-2 दिन लगते हैं। तो वो अनफॉर्चुनेटली 5 तारीख को कंफर्म हुआ था, और 5 तारीख से ही पापा की हालत डिटेरियोरेट होनी शुरू हुई। हमने कॉल किया हॉस्पिटल में वार्ड में ट्राई किया किसी से बात कराने की, पर फिर हालत ऐसी थी कि वो बात करने की हालत नहीं थी, तो एक्चुअली नहीं हो पाई थी।
Sad indeed. Let me go across to Andre now. Andre, it's been a tough year. Nobody can really give that back to you, but today is a day of victory. Do you see it as that, or is this coming in the backdrop of the fact that there could be a challenge of this in the Supreme Court, and are you gearing up for that next?
Yeah, I mean, thank you. Yeah, that's right. I mean, it has been a very tough year. It's been a lot of year of lots of downs, and you know, continuously hoping to get something positive. And there have been a lot of positive developments. Obviously, of the 4 cases, bail was secured in all 3, and this was the last one that we were all waiting for, all family and friends. And I think, you know, when the order came through this morning, we were all really delighted. We were really excited. In fact, we thought, you know, we're going to see them tonight. We already started cooking the food that we knew they'd like to eat, making a cake and so on at home, and cleaning the house up, and you know, expecting them tonight. And we, we ended up spending most of the day in the courts waiting.
So all of Natasha and Devangana's favorites were being prepared, but do you have an idea about how soon you'll be able to see them, how soon the order is going to get through and they'll be walking out free?
Well, that's right. I mean, we hoped it would be tonight, but obviously it hasn't been tonight. Now we hope it's going to be tomorrow. But we don't know for sure if it's going to be tomorrow. We also have heard that there may be a move to challenge this bail order in the Supreme Court. And if so, we don't know what that means and if it's, going to extend again into another phase of waiting. It's just it's like an emotional roller coaster. Each time you think something's going to happen and then you realize there's another hurdle to kind of overcome.
Counting days and counting minutes now. I can see that with both of you right now. Let me go across to the mother. She is Professor Kalpana, mother to Devangana. And let me quote to you, Professor Kalpana, something that the court said today, and which I think is extremely important. It said it seems that in its anxiety to suppress dissent in the mind of the state, the line between constitutionally guaranteed right to protest and terrorist activity seems to be getting somewhat blurred. It went on to say, if this mindset gains traction at this point, it would be a sad day for democracy. Is that how you've been feeling for the past 1 year?
Definitely. Definitely we had that feeling. And today, the judgment has proved that this is a victory of democracy in India. Devangana got bail. Devangana, Natasha both got bail in UAPA, which is an anti-terror law. And it is very difficult to get bail. That is say that it is impossible to get bail. And we were prepared ourselves that Devangana might have to stay long in the jail. Whatever I have read about UAPA, I had an idea that jail is a rule, bail is an exception.
Right.
And Devangana is the first case in our family who has been incarcerated for long in the jail. So we had to go through some IPC laws, and I started reading after Devangana got arrested. And my idea was that we do not know. Always we were in uncertainty. And when we had to wait a lot to get the verdict, then only we could understand that Indian judiciary works like this way only. Very slow. That is my first experience after Devangana's arrest.
Right.
That people has to wait a long to get justice or to get a verdict, yes or no, whatever may be.
But I can see the optimism of a mother in the way in which you're talking. You're saying at the end of the day, it is the victory of democracy. I see a bright smile on your face right now. But I'm sure it's been a tough year. In your conversations that you had with your daughter when she was behind bars, could you give us a sense of what was going on in her mind? I'm sure she's a young girl at the end of the day. I mean, I'm sure it must have been a struggle for her.
Definitely. It was a struggle for her also and for us also. So always we try to keep ourselves strong, to keep Devangana strong inside prison in a positive way. Always we say that don't take it as a dark time or bad time of your life. Consider it as an opportunity that you are experiencing about the inmates in your jail. And her father always write to her that transform your challenges to opportunities, that you can do some productive there in the jail. And they have been doing for the jail reforms, both Devangana and Natasha continuously fighted in the High Court, and due to their fight only, the prisoners were benefited even to the COVID vaccination. And we were happy about that, but always we were in uncertainty.
Right.
Every time we have to wait when Devangana will be free, when we will get a call from her, and when will be the video conferencing be allotted to us to talk to her. This definitely.
Well, kudos to you, kudos to the family. You guys, I'm sure they wouldn't have been able to do it without you. and vice versa in this case. Last comments, Akash and Andre, do you remember some lines from the girls when they were, and they still are behind bars, but something that really stayed on with you, something perhaps which is the guiding force in these tough times?
Maybe not a sentence, but I think something that has really struck me throughout the whole process, the whole experience, is the way that they have somehow managed to always turn their attention to all the other people that they're meeting there and the hardships and struggles that they're going through. And this sort of realization that it's, even though this is also very much about them, it's also about so many other people who are facing injustice in various ways. And that's been inspiring to hear.
True.
Yeah.
Akash, closing comments?
Again, sentence as such नहीं है, but जब भी उससे बात होती है डेली कॉल्स जो जेल में अलाउड होता है, तो हमेशा वो हंस के बात करती है. तो जब भी उसका कॉल आता है तो पूरा जितने भी गम है दिन में, जितने भी वो है, वो सारे चले जाते हैं. लाइक अगेन होप दोबारा आ जाती है. Whenever I need the hope, उसका कॉल आता है. कई बार नहीं आता, सिस्टम खराब है नहीं, तो बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है, जब आता है तो बहुत सही.
Well, the strength that you guys have shown has been infectious, if I can just call it that. And it's good to see bright smiles on your face. Let's see what happens. Let's see how soon they can get out of the bars. And let's see what happens next in this case. So it's been a good night for all of you. We'll keep a very close tap on this story otherwise as well. Thanks for speaking with NDTV.